happening? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? This is your girl, Deborah Franklin, and welcome to Tip Tuesday. So let me go ahead and let me let people that may not know who I am or what I do, let me go ahead and tell you who I am and what I do. I am Deborah Franklin. I work with high achieving Christian women to help them to increase their VIP status, meaning their visibility, their influence, and their profits. And so I'm also, and I do that with helping them publish their books or do through media coaching or helping them set up their podcast and to develop more streams of income from one or two products. So I said all that to say there's a new product, and might be tardy to the party, but I wanted to give some tips tonight on ChatGPT. Now, it might not be what you're expecting, but um I'm going to say it like this. Anything that uses AI, don't trust all of it. Oh yeah, let me tell you this. And I'm a high school teacher by day. Okay, let me give all these caveats. And I'm saying that all to say that because when you're dealing with ChatGPT, is it a cool piece of software? Absolutely. Is it something that you can use to help you do some things that you need to do for your business? Absolutely. But what I want to give you is a warning. Do not trust it without reading it. Do not just get the answer and then copy and paste it. Because one thing you have to realize that remember that it is an AI. It doesn't look at the tense of words. It may not even get your full attempt. Just like when you write something for real. Look, you heard me say write something for real. You usually read it several times before you go ahead and use it. What I'm trying to tell you is go through the Chat GPT response the same way. Have I used it? Absolutely. Have I used it for blogs? Yes. Have I used it for emails? Yes. Have I used it for some posts? Yes. But I did have to go through and tweak it and edit it for what I need for what I was for the message that I was trying to get across. And so you have to be careful when you are using this AI software because you don't want to get caught up in that you're posting the same thing as somebody else. Because a friend of mine, we tried it. We typed in the same thing and got the same response. You don't want to fall victim to that because it's not human. Remember that it's not human. So you really need to take that time to make sure you're editing. Now, I've also heard some people say, and now I'm speaking from the realm of a publisher. I've also heard somebody say, well, you could write a whole book with Chat GPT. You're right. But I wouldn't produce that book. I wouldn't copyright that book because you don't know how many people are using the same information. Because if I'm not mistaken, and please, if somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, then do that. But it it is not copywritten, and so you can also get caught up in what is that what is it when you have your God, I'm drawing a whole blank when you're using somebody else's words, not plagiarism. That's not what I'm talking about, but it could be plagiarism because somebody else could have posted it before you. Intellectual property. That's what I was going to. Intellectual property. So you need to make sure that you are reviewing everything that you have, that you are looking at all of the aspects of what you've written. And if you're using it, use it as a skeleton for what you're doing. Use it as an outline for what you're doing because sometimes you do need that extra spark. You do need that extra boost when you're sitting down to write. Because I know sometimes my creativity can be a little shaky because I'm thinking, because I got so many other things going on. I got to be here, I got to be there, I got to do this, I got to do that. And then when I sit down, it's time for me to craft something. I'm like, oh my God, I don't know what the world I'm getting ready to do. So what I'm sharing with you is that you need to make sure, is this a good piece of software? Absolutely. Is it something that you can use? For sure. But what you need to do is to make sure that you are going through and reading it and editing it. Now, I do have an editor that I work with closely. And so we were using it and I needed something quick. And when I sent it to her, she said, did you realize that this transition is not the right transition? I was like, oh, for real? And so so it's like you have to make sure that you are doing everything that you need to make sure those transitions are right. That again, let me go back to this. Let me start here. Your transitions are correct. Your word tenses, the word tense is correct. Who is actually to is correct. What is going on in make sure that it flows properly because sometimes I've did some things and it is and it repeated itself. And I was like, huh? And so so you have to think about it from that perspective when you are crafting these things, when you're crafting what you're doing. Hold on one second. And so, and again, it's real easy to use. So educators have been using it. Trust and believe if educators are using it, students are using it. But what it also does, it can create some really nice stuff for you, but it doesn't get down deep to where you need to be. It does not stick to that critical thinking. If you want something that's going to really jab at that for what you're doing, you have to make sure that you are using something that you will be able to go back and edit and make sure you're editing it to fit the industry that you're doing. Because sometimes you can ask it, give me a quick email to for have somebody to come purchase something. But if you're not clear in what you're typing, you're going to get something where it's like, dear purchasing agent, you need to purchase this. Nah, that's not really what you wanted. So you have to be clear in what you want the software to do for you. Because when you're clear, then it will produce what you need. It will produce what you need, but you still have to go back and edit. You still have to go back and put your voice on it. You still have to go back and do take some additional steps because remember, this is AI. It is, you don't want people to start thinking, okay, so this is another tip too. You don't want people to start thinking that you are cookie cutter and that you sound just like everybody else. You have to go and put your secret sauce on there to make sure your voice is coming across the way that it needs to come across. You have to make sure that when people read this, they're not thinking, was this computer generated or is this really her? And make sure that your voice is being heard in everything that you do. So, this is my tip to my entrepreneurs, to my authors. Yes, you can use it to give you a piece, even give you a manuscript, but you're gonna have to go back and edit it and make sure that it's saying what you really wanted to say, that it's really giving the message that you wanted to give, that it's really showing where you need to be, where you want it to be. You have got to make sure that when you use this software, that you're using it for your good, like your real good, not just something that you want to just throw out there. So this is my tip for today. Use it, but don't abuse it. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You can use it, but don't abuse it. And you have got to know that because when you get ready to sit where at the round table, when you get before men and women of greatness, when you get before all of these people and everything that you've done has been computer generated, how you gonna sound? Can you show up as your authentic self if everything you've done has been generated by an AI? Are you gonna show up? I mean, you can't show up as your avatar. You got to show up. That's because I need to go see the movie. You've got to show up as you. And when you show up as you have to show up as you in what you post. You have to show up as you in what you're doing. You have to show up as you in what you write in a book, what you write in a freebie, what you write in a handout, and use the software for, again, what I like to say is your skeleton, is your outline. And then you take that time to put that meat on the bones to where it sounds like you, it looks like you, and it does what you need it to do. All right, guys. Then if you got any questions, make sure you just drop them below. Um, Thank you. I'm glad this was some good info for you. If y'all have any questions about how to use it, when to use it, how to make sure that you're using it properly. Just drop it in the chat, or you can even DM me, and I have no problems with going over some things for you, because when you are using this software, you really have to be careful in how you do how you propose your questions, because I'm gonna tell you, a lot of people are using it, but a lot of people are abusing it, and you don't want to be caught in the abuse. And for those of you that may be tuning in late, I was tuning in. Please go back and catch the replay, and then drop replay in the chat. And I want to personally invite you to our Amplify Your Gift at the table. So we talked about you are the gift on last night, and see, when you know that you are the gift, you know that nobody treats the gift any kind of way. Nobody throws this pretty thing, this box with pretty wrapping, or just any kind of way, treat it any kind of way, kick it down the street, talk to it any kind of way. And you have to know that you are the gift, because there are certain things that you just don't tolerate when you know who you are and whose you are, and how you walk into the room and gain that presence and be able to speak with authority and speak like never before. So you have got to show up again as you, not as the AI, not as the avatar, because you are that gift. And this now that weekend, we're going to be talking about how to amplify your gift at the round table. And what that means is that we're going to have a round table of presenters, and they're going to talk to you about their businesses and how they got started and how they how they are being successful in their area. And they're going to share with you. And guess what? It's going to be so intimate that you will be able to ask questions and get real time answers. Did you hear what I said? Ask questions and get real time answers. And that's the whole beauty of this workshop. I have already talked to the speakers. They are ready for that. They're giving. When I tell you they're going to give some quality information, they're not going to be sugarcoating anything. So I'm trying to tell you, if you want it real, straightforward, and raw, you need to join us. You can go to the website, churchgirlceo.org, and you can definitely register for the event. It's there. And oh yeah, have y'all seen the Church Girl CEO magazine? We're going to talk about that on tomorrow. What's on our cover? Who's on our cover? And that's none other than Miss Gina Neely, a Food Network star, and now is the host in Bluff. Oh my God, I can't think of the it's in Tennessee. And so I want you guys to check out our magazine. Everything you need to know, everything you need to get in contact with me, blogs, everything is at churchgirlceo.org. Well, all right, guys, I love you to life, and ain't nothing you can do about it. Make sure that you are sharing with your friends that you are the gift, you are called to this, and you are going to show up as your authentic self. Y'all have a great rest of your day. Have a good one. Peace.